People, what's good? It's Coop. Want to thank everybody for supporting my brother Andrew and I, Mirror Music. Want to thank all of you for supporting According to Hip Hop. Want to thank all of you for supporting me. Y'all know what today is. It's the GOAT's birthday. My boy Andrew has been doing the reaction video. Shout out to Andrew. But I'm going to get into some things today for the GOAT's 50th birthday. I think most of us feel like Store Run might be the best song between the KD and Magic series. It's about to be 6 albums in 3 years later this evening. And so I felt like it was only appropriate on his birthday to give a reaction to what his most modern classic song might be in most people's eyes, and that's Store Run. Before we play the record, it's like Hit did a masterful job on King's Disease too, and I talked about this when I originally did the review on According to Hip Hop. Like, Hit did a masterful job of finding the pockets of beats that worked best for Nas in previous years with previous producers, and so Store Run is the full encompassment of that feeling production-wise as well. So don't just pay attention to the bars. It's the beat breaks. It's the soul samples, it's the breakdowns that's bringing this out of Nas, because we've seen it kind of happen before. But I don't want to talk too much. I always like to let the music do the talking mostly. So.
Jeez.
Soul samples.
Yeah. QBHU, Ravenswood, Woodside, let's go. My thumb struck a lot of lighters, pulled a lot of all-nighters, banned from some after-hour spots. My crew would choose violence, moving silence. Who knew I grew to build an empire? Streets had me against the ropes, would've thought I was zip-lining. Texting a dresser, money off tech, pushing a Tesla.
That's the line. It's like he's giving you every Nas on this record. It's like he starts off like with the nasty Nas, like reminisce, kind of nostalgic Nas. So it's like there's nasty Nas on this record. There's like the nostalgic rapper Nas on this record. There's the modern day boss fly nigga Nas. There's Escobar on here with the pyrotechnics and leather pants. Like one of the things that makes this record so timeless already is the fact that all versions of him as an artist are on the record. Like, he's flexing on the record. It's really like one of his best low-key flexes ever.
It's when I go to the next one. Rich from corporate, a thug and expensive mistakes. It's all a racket, it's the same thing, just the risk that you take. Moving too fast, blues on your ass. The boys came through with the task. Peeked through the blinds, you knew it was curtains. Breadwinner, take a L, lead a whole family hurting. Seen it a million times, sister wash him out with the verdict.
See, what makes him so different is how he addresses like the same situations and circumstances. Peep through the blinds. You knew it was curtains. But listen to how he talks about the man. He talks about the man from the perspective of being a breadwinner. And now the fact that that man's not there has left this family in dire straits. See, everything with Nas is about the perspective. A lot of people think that it's about the lyrics. It's like, really, his best ability is his perspective, because his perspective sees the same things that a lot of us that were raised in inner city circumstances sees, but it's his expression of it that's different, you know? And so he offers you a different vantage point than almost any MC who's ever lived, which is part of the reason why he is the greatest MC ever. And this hook is stellar, by the way. Like, this might be the best hook of the series too, you know, because this is what I mean. When he's talking his fly shit, it's like I almost feel like he channeled some of like Biggie's like fly Playboy talk on King's Disease 2, because he's real fly on King's Disease 2, but this hook is not the type of hook that you would normally find him doing. But, you know, and one of the things that talked about on According to Hip Hop, most underrated part of his game is probably his hook game, because it's like the hook is really what pieces this song together well too. And the way he transitions into the hook is just flawless, and you can just see how working with Hit, this is where their synergy just becomes timeless, in my opinion.
Clean as a whistle, drinking premium liquor in between two Argentinian sisters. They counting up for me until their fingers get blisters. When I blew that on, I cannot seem to remember. It's not even bragging. It's okay, it's gonna be okay. Flyest nigga in this rap shit.
I don't think he's ever said that before. That's what I mean. Is it's like he's like everybody on this record, including the modern day version of himself. But when he's saying he's the flyest nigga in this rap shit, it's like, well, he's never talked shit like that before. You know, even when he's talked this shit, it hasn't been saying, oh no, I'm the flyest nigga in this rap shit.
Yo, as I'm looking at the New York skyline, reminiscing on nighttime shootouts with my guys, pouring this white wine. You could rich a mill of your left wrist, keep in perspective, we on God's time. The world is yours. What happens when dealers reduce to addicts? What happens when kings don't see their potential status? What's your exit plan? Face to face with my omens, I never ran. Stood on stages most never can. Pyrotechnics and leather pants.
You see how he went from Philosopher Nas to Nas Escobar in about 3 or 4 bars? That's what I mean about like this record being so special. He transitions into so many forms of himself as an MC. Like, that's the prophet talking, the guy that's asking the questions, but then he transforms to the guy in pyrotechnics and leather pants, and he explains the process of it. Like, this record is a 10. Like, it belongs on his greatest hits. It does. It's one of his best songs ever.
Mention me with Mick Jagger and Bono like your poster. I'm standing next to rookies somehow, they looking older. The altitude I'm at is so cold it'll make your nose run. How you expect to get love if you don't show none? I should send you little niggas on the stove run. How we moving is no cut. I'm from the era.
How you expect to give love if you don't show none? You know? Like, dudes don't talk like this on record and make it sound fly. Like, that's one of the hardest pull-offs. I think one of the things that's like his career is built on is like, he's even said it, it's like, well, the kids never really followed me, but it's like, but he has the words of a wise man, and he always has, like, even since he was young. And so hearing the wise words as he's actually like older and wiser, it actually like makes it more impactful. And that's kind of what makes this run so special. It's like, well, his talk has never really been more special, because he's like, the way he's talked on these last 4, 5, 6 projects, he's never really talked to us this way before, you know? And so it's like, it's the same guy that we grew up and loved, but it's like, it's the guy that we thought was wise when he was young, but now he's old and he really, or older, and he really is wise, you know?
The blades and coke dust, people living with no trust, champagne in the soap suds, so I'm clean as a whistle, drinking premium liquor in between 2 Argentinian sisters. They counting up for me until their fingers get blisters. What I blew that on, I cannot seem to remember. The world is yours. Scarface, Tony Montana shit.
So he's the best nostalgic rapper ever, and so another beautiful part of this record is that he channels his own nostalgic moments on here, like with The World Is Yours, shout outs and phrases again. It's like he's had a long enough career that he's actually being nostalgic about his accomplishments 25, 30 years ago. And he's been in the game and been viable that long that when a record like this comes out, this record is special. It's because, well, nobody's made a record this great in their catalog this late that's talking about how great that they've been. And when he's talking about mention me with Mick Jagger and Bono like you're supposed to, well, he's saying how hip-hop always gets slighted, but also how he always gets slighted. So it's like, it's kind of like, it's not, I wouldn't call it like a reverse double entendre, but he's talking about the slight that he gets and the slight that hip-hop gets. Because if you really look at it, it's like, I don't know if there's a writer that can say that they've written more quality material in any genre of music than Nas right now. And that's one of the reasons why I've been covering and saying that this run is so important. It's like, it's not just important to hip hop, it's important in the context that nobody's been on a run like this before musically this late. Like, nobody's making music like this at 50 years old. Like, as much as I love Mike and Prince and Stevie, and like their music didn't sound like this late. Like, not this quality, not where they're making some of their best stuff, arguably. And you know, and Nas does the typical Nas thing by like shouting out legends who have passed in the year that KD2 came out at the end of the record. But this record's just a 10 of 10. It's just a masterful job by Hit Boy, by Nas. If you said it was the best song of the series, I feel like it's between this and Slow It Down. But we're gonna let the song ride out, and then I'm gonna say a couple things, and I might have another surprise video later.
It's yours. Yours. R.I.P. Ecstasy from Houdini. DMX, Prince Marky D, Shock G, real rap gods. Do you know the meaning? All the rap brothers we lost this year, the last year. Hey yo, check it out.
And you know, know, and here's something else. Like, when Nas is on his shit, it's like, it's probably not going to be for the club. Like, this isn't a club record. But that doesn't mean it's, like, not a great record. Like, I think one of the things that probably hurt him in a time when hip-hop was becoming more of a hit-making business is that his best songs aren't hits. They're just, like, great music. And this is, like, the prime example of that. It's like, I don't even think Store Run was a single on KD2, but everybody knows it's the best song on KD2, either that or Nobody.
The stove for me, man. Give me veggie chips, blunts in a bottle. You got this shit all twisted, man. It's about rank. You ain't there yet. Think you gonna send me to the store? I own the store, man. I'm just testing you. I got the hood playing golf, wild, ball style. Crucifixes over the chrome heart, you get crossed out. People battered down, Asian hate getting passed around. Tiger happy, both his parents' lives matter now. Marble floors is my common law, we company builders. I inspired those who inspired you to run up millions. Not perfect, persistent, keep it more pure than the purest. I do this for the jets and them good-hearted jurors.
And he ends the record the right way. He tells you what he's doing it for. I do it for the projects and the good-hearted jurors, you know? So he's pretty much saying, I only rock with the real, I only rock with the solid. But, you know, for me, I feel like in the King's Disease series, and I was talking about it on According to Hip Hop Live last night, it's like Store Run and Slow It Down are clearly, for me, and Nobody are probably the three definite songs that stand out in terms of like their all-time classic status on there, on Nas's catalog. I mean, I was trying to think like the Lauren feature might be the best feature since the AZ feature on Life's a Bitch. Like, she's cold like that on the record. I've been meaning to do a reaction video for Nobody. I'm not going to do it today because I plan on doing another Nas record. I'm going to pick an older Nas record. Hopefully that'll load up today and y'all get to see it. If not, you'll definitely get to see it tomorrow. But yeah, Store Run is special. Like, Store Run is what really I felt like took KD2 to the next level, because I think it's track 8. It's track 8 on the album, and the album has a really nice vibe and a nice feel. But it's like when you go into Store Run and then Nobody, it like truly up the ante of the album. And I think we realized that it's like we were getting a prime version of Nas. Store Run is the record where we realize it's like, oh no, he's having like another prime, or like his prime never left, or I don't know, maybe he was with the wrong producers and needed to be with Hit all this time. Like everybody else, I'm looking forward to Magic 3 dropping tonight. I saw Hit Boy post that it's dropping at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so it really is dropping at 9 o'clock, which is like going to be super dope. It's going to give us all time to prepare and dig in. Definitely be looking out for me on some Twitter Spaces and on Station Head and on YouTube. Going to be doing a lot of stuff to celebrate and commemorate. Shout out to the GOAT. Shout out to Hit for shouting out me and According to Hip Hop and showing us love and really putting us on and really helping us out. We're forever in y'all's debt. We love what y'all have done. We have covered y'all because y'all have been the best doing it these last 3 years. Y'all deserve a salute. Y'all been holding hip hop down. Store Run is a classic and goes on Nas's greatest hits hit. And I'll see y'all later in some sort of shape, form, or fashion, because I'm probably going to be all over social media today because the people calling for it. Y'all be blessed. Store Run reaction video. Go run that up.